Hey there, welcome back to Geeky Greenhouse. In today's video, I'll show you how we turned this storage shelf into this, our LED light germination station. So this is our new seed starting setup, and we have two different LED light systems in place here. Up above, we have the Spider Farmer SF600, which is a purpose-built LED grow light strip. And below we have Barrina LED light strips that are a little bit cheaper, but a little more laborious to set up. So in this video, I'll share all the supplies you need to set this up yourself and walk you through the entire process of setting up the shelf, adding the grow lights, and plugging it all in. I'll leave links down in the description where you can find these products online if you want to do this project yourself. So we bought this shelf, which actually came with another 4 bars, making it twice as tall as this. So this is really only half of the shelf, but you could extend this upwards and add 2 more layers if you needed more space. But these 2 shelves will fit 8, 10, 20 trays. So that's a lot of space, plenty of space for what we need starting our plants indoors. And essentially from here, we just need to incorporate lighting into these shelves. So for that, we're actually going to use 2 different lights just to give you a couple of different options. This is the Spider Farmer SF600, and it's rated for a 2-foot by 4-foot area, making it perfect for this application. The shelf is 4 feet wide and about 18 inches deep, so this will cover that area perfectly. Now this uses 74 watts of power, and it has well over 350 individual diodes, and Spider Farmer has made a good name for themselves in the LED grow light space. Now this is more expensive than our other option, but it's also simpler, so this requires less setup than the other lights we'll be using. This is the other option. This is one of 4 LED strips that came with this package, and this is from Barrina Grow Lights, and it has some great features, making it very versatile for a setup like this. As you can hear, it's a little bit more rattly, and I expect the quality isn't quite as good as the Spider Farmer light, so the longevity will be in question here, but these lights were about $50 as opposed to $100 or more for the Spider Farmer. And like I said, there's more setup involved with the Barrina lights. There are 4 individual units, along with some cabling to tie them to one another, some zip ties, and some other accessories that you might want to use. So let's start from the top and work our way down. We'll put the Spider Farmer light up on the top, and then the 4 Barrina lights will go down below. So the Spider Farmer came with a pretty awkward setup. It has these little nuts that screw onto the top of the light, and then it has a long cable, and you're supposed to sort of loop it around and tighten it with this wing nut. So I basically just made 2 small loops, and I'll be using some zip ties to connect it to the top. Now I want to make sure that I'm positioning this so that the power connector is facing the direction of all the power cables. That way we can keep our cable management nice and tidy. If you're like me, you like to have a safety net just in case one of these zip ties were to fail. I'm going to put 2 on each side just to have a safety net. As for this extra bit of cable, I'm just going to wind it around the side of the shelf to get it out of the way. Clip off the excess of the cable ties. And then I'm going to try to flip these over so that this part is facing down underneath and isn't protruding above, so we can put things on top of the shelf. From there, I just want to train this cable up over the top. So with that, we'll just plug it in. And we have beautiful full spectrum light. But I'll leave it unplugged for now so you can see me. So with this light, it'll be relatively easy to raise or lower it as needed. We can lengthen or shorten those metal cables to raise or lower the light as needed. Now at this point, I want to mention, if you don't want to worry about plugging in and unplugging your lights every day, you should definitely invest in an outlet timer. They're very cheap. For 10 bucks or so, you can get one with multiple plugs so that you can run more than one light on the same timer. So now on to the more complicated setup for these Barrina grow lights. Like I said, there are 4 of these individual strips, and they're meant to be daisy chained together like so. You can see there's a cable connecting one to the other, and one of these lights will be connected to the wall, and that one outlet will power all of the lights. However, as you can see, there's a lot of excess cable, which may be good if you wanted to set these lights apart from each other, but in our case, they'll be right next to each other, so we really don't want this cable dangling around, sort of getting in the way of things. So I've gone ahead and tidied them up like so, using some twist ties. This system is also very versatile. Like I said, if you wanted to use 2 of these lights in one area and 2 in a completely different area, it comes with 2 power cables, so you can have these in totally different areas and use it like that. But again, in our case, we'll just be using one of these and tying all of the lights together. So this kit, of course, comes with the 4 light strips, but it also comes with some other accessories like zip ties, so you don't have to worry about getting your own zip ties. It also comes with 2-sided tape, so if you just wanted to sort of stick this to the top of something, like the underside of a cabinet, you could use them that way as well. And lastly, it comes with these tiny plugs, which you'll just need one of to plug off the back end of the final light so that there's not exposed electronics. So first I'll position all the lights facing down with their on-off switches on the same side. That way, if we want to shut off any of these lights, we'll have access all on the same area. Now I'll plug the power cable into the first light at the back side, but I won't plug this into the wall yet. Now I'll move down to the opposite end and set up the first daisy chain. While we're down here, we can set up the final daisy chain from the 3rd light to the 4th light. And then we'll move back to the front end and set up the middle daisy chain and plug off the final slot. Now this is what the light setup looks like. We're going to test it out really quick, just make sure that everything is working as expected before we tie it up to the underside of the shelf. So all 4 lights are working here. What's great is you can turn on and off one or all of these lights as needed. So if you don't need all of the light output at any given time, you can turn half of them off, save a little energy. So I think that feature is great. So the last thing to do is to zip tie all of these up underneath this shelf here. And I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 zip ties per light. They're very lightweight, so I'm not really worried about the zip ties not holding, but I just want to make sure that they stay in the right position. So our germination station is complete. I really love it. I love the natural full spectrum light, and this is going to do a great job at germinating a lot of seeds and growing a lot of young plants indoors before they move outside. Like I said, we'll be able to fit 8 of these trays like so on top and bottom. And if any plants require more light, we'll probably move them up under the Spider Farmer, and those plants that don't require as much can go down below. Again, if you want to make this yourself, we'll leave links down in the description where you can find these products. And we'd love to see your germination station. If you have an awesome setup and some unique ideas, please share them in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching Geeky Greenhouse, and I'll see you next time.